Welcome to another one of our episodes. Today we're going to make a traditional comfort food meal here in America, chuck roast. Now we've taken chuck roast or pot roast, whatever you want to call it. We've made burnt ends. We've made Mississippi pot roast. Today I'm going to take this Masterbuilt Smoker. We're just going to straight up smoke a chuck roast. And to keep with comfort food idea, we're going to smoke some baked potatoes and we're going to smoke some onions. So you have the three critical ingredients just like you were making this in the crock pot, except we're going to add the smoke flavor. We've got a 3-pound chuck roast here that I picked up at the store yesterday. No bone in this guy. Does have a little fat on the back. I am not going to trim it up. Okay, I'm going to go simple today. The seasoning I'm using is this Sucklebusters Hoochie Mama barbecue rub. That's right, Hoochie Mama. Now I chose this when it's a beef rub, right? It's got salt, sugar, chili pepper, black pepper, garlic, onion, and some spices. Look, if you don't want to use this, don't use it. You could just put some salt, pepper, and chili powder on this guy, and that'll be just awesome. I would even throw in some garlic powder if you're making up your own, your own rub. But I've got this. I've used it many times in the past on beef, and I really like this one, right? Like I say, it's a great beef rub. You can use this on any kind of roast. You could actually use it on brisket if you wanted. Beef ribs I've used it on. It's just an all-around nice rub for beef. But again, if you don't want to get this rub, no problem. You could use your favorite beef rub. We're just adding a layer of flavor, just like you can do with your own favorite rub, right? And that's just it. I'm not going to use a binder. It's sticking on there just fine. We'll talk about next. I'm going to go over to this Masterbuilt, and I'll show you how we've got it set up. Now, for the wood today, I've got some mesquite chips. I already got them loaded up in the Masterbuilt. Got this guy. You want to smoke at 225 to 250. I've got it set right at 235. What I've got here are apple pellets. Okay, this is totally optional. But those of you that use the Masterbuilt a lot know it's almost impossible. Almost. I didn't say impossible to get a smoke ring in this guy. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is use these apple pellets specifically to try to get a little smoke ring. Okay, you just load them up in this little, I think it's called Amazing device. I featured this, or I shouldn't say featured it, but I used it in my cold smoked cheese video. And then you can see it's got this little hole in it. I got to be careful, right? I probably should be doing this inside the Masterbuilt if I was smarter. But I just wanted to show you what you do. You just light the end of this guy. It only takes a couple of minutes putting the flame to it. And then what will happen is these pellets will slowly burn back and give off smoke. We're obviously going to sit this inside the smoker. Like I said, it's just easier for me to show in the video doing it here on top of the Masterbuilt. Now for our setup today, I'm going to get this guy in here to catch the juices from the roast. I'm hoping Tammy's going to make us some sort of dipping sauce or other sauce. And then I'm going to stick this rack of the apple pellets in here for the smoke. And like I say, I've never tried this. I've read that maybe if you'll put some pellets in here you can get the smoke ring. I have no idea if that's going to work. And we're going to get our roast right here above the drip pan so we can catch, like I said, catch those juices. Okay. And then I'm going to use this built-in, ouch, it's hot, built-in Masterbuilt probe today. That's easy for me to say. Okay. Let's get that in there like so. Get the door shut. We're going to make some smoked potatoes here, all right? What I've got is just a skewer, right? You could probably use a knife. You could use a fork, I guess. I'm just going to poke a few holes in these guys. Easy for me to say, right? In fact, I've done it before where you don't have to poke in. Where I've not poked the holes in it. I'm just trying to let a little bit more smoke get up in the potato by opening it up a little bit, and I think it'll also cook a little bit better. Although I can't attest to that, because like I say, I usually just slap them in there. Okay, so let me just get a few holes in these, and then I'll show you the next simple step. We've got our potatoes already. Like I said, I just poked a few holes in them. Now what I'm going to do is just sprinkle a little olive oil. I don't know. That's probably not even a tablespoon. All right. Just oil them up. Okay. Doesn't take much. All right. Now I've got what most folks call Hawaiian pink sea salt. I don't know how to say this, but I'll embarrass myself anyway. I think it's Alea sea salt. You don't have to have this. You can use regular old kosher salt. I love this salt. I had it for some Kahlua pork I made. You know, I don't want to waste it, right? So just pour a little bit in there. And now we're just going to, you know, kind of make sure each tater's got some salt on the outside of it. Use as much as you like. All right, no magic here. And now what I'm going to do is get these moved over to this Masterbuilt Smoker. We're right at the 2-hour mark. I actually should have put these potatoes in about a half hour ago, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to take this top open shelf we have and sit our potatoes on there. You can see that those apple pellets are working quite nicely for us. All right, let me scoop these back because we're also going to do some onions, as I mentioned also earlier. Okay, I'm going to let those go half hour, and then I'll get the onions in. Onions, this is really simple too, right? Just again, a little olive oil. I'm going to try to keep this other hand free so I don't have to stop and use paper towels to get all the oil off before I put my seasoning on. See if I can do this one-handed. And it is a success. Okay, so we got our onions here. Now, what I like to do when I'm smoking onions is I like to use a sweet barbecue rub. I mean, of course, you could use the same one you put on the pot roast. So I'm going to use a little of this pork candy maple bourbon. It's just one I like. You can see it's kind of cakey. You know, it's always humid here in Florida. So, but I'm just going to season these guys up. Have fun with this, right? Pick your favorite seasoning. You got like a rib rub you like. It's good on these. A sweet, any kind of like a sweet rub with sugar in it. I mean, you know, they're already onions, so I don't think you really need anything too spicy. Okay, so we got these onions all ready, and it's been about 15 minutes since I put those taters in. So I'm going to let that smoker go another 15 minutes, and then we'll get these onions in, right? You can see I got some here, so if you don't want to waste it, just rub up all that goodness like so, right? And we're going to get these onions in that smoker in about 15 minutes, guys. It's been 30 minutes. We're going to get our onions on now. Onions in, I guess, is a more appropriate word. Let a little bit of that applewood smoke get out. Let me pull this rack out. We're just going to sit our onions in here and let these guys smoke right along with the taters. This is going to be just like a traditional comfort meal, right? Pot roast, taters, and onions. Our chuck roast has gotten up to 165. Okay. We're going to get it out, have a look at the collar, and decide what to do. I don't know if you guys can see that. Got a nice little bark on the outside. It's got good moisture. I think we're going to take it out now, and we're going to full it up. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. It's a little bit different than a lot of folks do. I'm going to take this pan out, and now we're going to pull this roast out. Maybe you can see a little bit better. A little nice dark color on it. See if I can keep from burning myself. Here, let's do it this way. This is probably a smarter way to do it. Okay. Get that temp probe out. I did add a second probe for my ThermoProbe, or ThermoPro, I should say, because I didn't trust this Masterbuilt. But I will tell you that the meat temperature probe on the Masterbuilt was always within 2 degrees of my ThermoPro, so I think that part is okay. Now, I'm going to place this guy down in this pan. Okay, roast got a nice color, right? I don't know if you can tell, there's not very much juice at all, excuse me, from the fat rendering out. So what I'm going to do is just add a little beef broth. I don't know, maybe 1/3 of a cup, right? You can see not a lot, maybe just a little bit more than 1/3 of a cup. Now, what most folks will do, which is awesome, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, is they'll take this guy out and they'll wrap it in foil. I'm just going to use this same pan, right? I don't want to, I don't really see the reason. We can wrap it up tightly. So I think I'll go back and look at, I've been writing the times down. I think we're at 4 hours right now. But if that's not the case, I'll correct it in the video when I do the editing. But we're going to get our roast back in here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick a probe right in it, one hole into the roast. There we go. All right. We're going to get this roast back in here. And if you guys are, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the video. Our potatoes aren't done, but they're looking great. Our onions are looking great. We're going to get these back in, get the door shut up. It's going to go at least another hour. We're at the 5 hour and 10 minute mark. And this roast is measuring 205 degrees on the temp. Now look, we don't really care what the temp is. We care about how tender it is. So first thing I want to do, I just want to check these taters. These taters are done. These onions are done. Okay, so we'll get back to them in a minute. What I'm going to do is pull this roast out. Okay, we're going to set it up here on the table. Take this foil off and see if it's done. And I'll show you how you can tell if it's done. And again, like I say, the 200 degree mark is just an indication. It is not necessarily a conclusion. All right. So this foil is going to be hot, guys. Be careful, right? You might want to use gloves. I don't always do the smartest thing, so don't watch me. Okay. Now I'm just going to take my temp probe. Look at that. You see how it goes in with hardly no resistance? It comes out just easy, okay? Now, hardly no friction at all, right? This roast is ready. I mean, you could cook it for a few more minutes if you wanted, but I'm telling you, it's like butter. So what I'm going to do is, I told y'all Tammy was over here. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's going to make a gravy with all this goodness in the bottom. I have no idea how she's going to do it. Our potatoes are ready. Our onions are ready. Let's get her out here to make this gravy. What I'm going to do is pour this juice out into this pan for her.
All right, so we're going to make this gravy. So this is just a tablespoon of flour. We're going to whisk it in slowly. And then we're going to, after we get this in, we'll add everything else. And by the way, this is going to be a horseradish mustard gravy, which I didn't say at the beginning. That was a tablespoon. Ew, that was a bad noise. Sorry about that. All right, this is 2 tablespoons of brandy. This is going to be 2 tablespoons of sour cream. And this is just a ½ teaspoon of horseradish. And I guess you could put as much really in as you want, if it's as spicy as you want. This is a tablespoon of grainy mustard. I think I can get more out of there. And you're just going to whisk it together and let it simmer. All right, so we didn't have a lot of juice from the roast, so we're going to add in a little bit of beef broth just to make a little bit more gravy. Do a little bit of thyme, keep it thick. A little bit more.
All right, we've got our chuck roast. It's been sitting here cooling off for 10 minutes. Tammy has made some sort of secret carrots because she feels I need to eat vegetables. I don't get it.
He doesn't eat enough vegetables.
I've got the potatoes, the smoked onions here. All right, let's talk about the roast, because I know that's what everybody cares about.
But you care about vegetables, don't you?
Right.
Tell him. He needs to eat vegetables.
The grain's running this way. We're going to cut a grist against the grain. And I know you're all probably wondering, did the apple pellets give it a smoke ring? I don't know, right? We're going to find out together. Okay, right down the middle. Let's cut it open. Well, I got to tell you, I don't see a smoke ring. I'm thinking the apple pellets didn't give us a smoke ring. Look at that. You see a smoke ring?
Nope.
Nope. I see juiciness. I see juice coming out. Ow, it's hot. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so the apple pellets didn't give us a smoke ring in the Masterbuilt. But we're still going to give this roast a try, right? The smoke ring is not what makes this taste. As you all know that. I know everybody that cooks from the Masterbuilt, you know the smoke ring is not what makes it. Let me cut off a few pieces here, and then we're going to put some of that gravy that Tammy made.
Which will be delicious.
Yep. And she's going to eat some of her own carrots.
Which will be delicious.
Okay.
And healthy.
So,
'Cause you need
there's the roast. I hope you guys can see that. I can't. I don't have the camera turned around, so I don't know if you can see it or not. There's what we got. Ooh, it's nice and juicy. All right, so let's get our potato. Is it a potato or a tater?
A potato.
She always likes to get on me about how to say words. Okay, we got a potato, the tater up there.
Potato.
Let's get an onion down here and slice it up. You know, if you were making pot roast in a microwave, in the crock pot, you'd have all these goodies, right? And you're going to put your gravy sauce goodness on there?
You want it on the potato or on the meat or both?
What do you think?
I would like it on...
The meat?
Yeah.
It's always better on the meat.
I would like it on the potato, but...
Well, okay, you put it on your tater, but I like mine on the meat.
Well, I would like it on both, so there you go.
Alright. So we're going to put a little butter in there. Little cracked black pepper on those onions and that potato. Little salt. Okay. And are you going to show people your carrots? You're
Yes,
going to
they're
scoop
so
some carrots
pretty.
up there?
Look at how pretty these carrots
Why
are.
do I have to eat carrots?
Yes, you do, because carrots are good for you.
I can't see already, so what's the matter?
They're very good for you. See how pretty they are? Okay.
Okay. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff to taste here, right? We've got Tammy's carrots, we've got the onions, the smoked tater, and the pot roast. Okay.
It all looks very delicious.
Alright, so I'm going to cut you a piece of pot roast. You want a smaller piece, or is that piece okay? What do you want?
That's fine.
We got Tammy's gravy.
Thank you.
Alright, there you go. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Oh, it's really good. It's very delicious.
It's beyond delicious.
Beyond delicious.
Okay, now let's try the tater.
Who would like to?
Alright, here's the tater. Just got some butter. It's a smoked tater. Okay, I put some salt and pepper. And there's that smoked onion. Look at that. That's too much onion, right? How about that right there?
Okay.
You get you some.
Okay. Potato. Onion.
I could eat just that.
And that's good.
Oh, that's not just good. That's really good.
That's really good. I like that.
Smokiness from the tater. Not too much smokiness.
I want some of the skin of the potato cooking.
Yeah, get some skin. That's a good idea. If you're not a subscriber already, I hope you hit the subscribe button. Hit the little, there's like a bell looking shape. That'll tell you when we make a new video and when she's going to make some more veggies.